4 and 30. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of the Most High, whereby ye are sealed unto the day of redemption.
To the day of redemption, we get rewarded at the end. The appreciation don't happen here. And the lesson went off on a little tangent because this is an important topic. This is probably one of the most important topics for a brother need to hear when you come into the walk. If you don't get this, man, you're gonna be out there.
Yeah, you need to, this topic need to be on a regular. It need to be one of those snap you back to reality.
Yeah.
Because once you start looking with these eyeballs, you lose sight of that.
Yes.
You know?
That's it. Because it all goes into being, because you went into being blind.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It takes you putting yourself out of the equation, what you think, on the back burner. You know what I'm saying? You're going off of that expectation, which is that, oh.
And this world molds you to be against that mindset. Especially here in Babylon, it's all about me. But it's never about the group.
Right.
It's never about being a part of something bigger than yourself here. Everything that you learn from a kid up it steers you to be just about you, wanting to be appreciated. And what about me? And
Likes, thumbs.
yes. In the ancient world, it's more so about the group, the family. And that's another reason why family is important. But we ain't gonna take it there. All right, let's get this example so we can wrap this up in Exodus, the 14th chapter. Read it in the NLT.
No.
In the beginning.
Exodus, 14 and 8 in the NLT, 8 through 13, and then we'll jump to 18 because we're gonna get the contrast of the thought process of somebody that's looking with the eyes on their face, and then the reward of somebody who's looking with that spiritual eye.
Exodus 14 and 8 again in NLT. The Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, so he chased after the people of Israel, who had left with fists raised in the fire. The Egyptians chased after them with all the forces in Pharaoh's army, all his horses and chariots, his charioteers, and his troops.
Yeah, so we went into earlier about how this devil, he seems like an insurmountable foe. Egypt back then, that was a world power back then during that time, right? And being a Jacob, that's you like, bro, how we gonna the Lord gonna throw down the Egyptians? How's that gonna happen? Looking with the eyes on your face, that would be a thought process, right? Go ahead.
It says, the Egyptians caught up with the people of Israel as they were camped beside the shore near Hirah, across from Baal-Zephon.
All right. Now you picture this, and you gotta envision stuff when you read for the listeners. All of Israel, hundreds of thousands, on that shore, looking at the water. And the sea is a big thing. You ain't just like, you know what I mean? We always talk about that blue whale effect. You realize how small you are when you get to that, and you go, yeah, ocean. Yeah, me and Manasseh talk about the Myrtle Beach. We would go out to the beach on Sundays, we would get in the water, and sometimes we would get out too deep, and that undercurrent would pull you in to where there's nothing that you can do. Yeah, it was one time I got pulled in, and it was like, damn, like I really was like, man, there's no way I'm gonna get out of this. I was able to, swim back up, but that undercurrent is so, you realize, like, bro, you're old Jacob thou worm.
Right, that's it.
You realize, like, bro, you're replaceable. And that goes back into the mentality we was talking about you gotta have anyway. Just do your part, man. But they're sitting there on that shore, looking at the ocean. They can't overcome that. Then they looking back at the Egyptians with all that chair. You know what I mean? That was
to stand there.
Just to stand there. That's all the modern day. So think about today. You see Esau coming in. He got his AR. He got his drones, and you'll be freaking out in the carnally. You're like, bro, how the fuck? What are we gonna do? This is the mindset they would continue on.
Exodus 14:10 in NLT. As Pharaoh approached, the people of Israel looked up and panicked when they saw the Egyptians overtaking them. They cried out to Yahweh, and they said to Moses, "Why did you bring us out here to die in the wilderness? Weren't there enough graves for us in Egypt?"
Nigga, you brought us out here to die? I know we shouldn't listen to this nigga. I told y'all about this nigga, man. That was the spirit they was in. Right. They gonna look at us like that. When this devil start rolling, and he start persecuting, and he start demonizing,
They gonna lose their job over not taking the job. They gonna be like, nigga,
Right.
y'all ain't got no retirement plan for us.
now what? See, I did what y'all told me to do. Now look,
Right.
now my kids can't. they gonna look at us the same way they was looking at Moses.
See, you watch
See,
that
Moses,
movie?
see?
Yep.
You watch that movie Ten Commandments? The newer one was real good too. It's like 2006, I believe. But they would just sit when he come out. They all just looking like, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
But that's how they looking at the videos.
That's That's how it is. That's how it is.
And that's what I'm saying. With like the brother said, with your spiritual eye, you not seeing it like that. You seeing, okay, the Lord brought us out here because He gonna deliver us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Rather than using your physical eyes, and be like, you brought us out here to die? No. The Lord brought you out here to live, fool. You know what I'm saying? And you gonna have those two mindsets. Well, shit, I don't know. You know what, Moses? Hey, if the Lord said it and told you to say it, then I'm right.
Right.
That's
Bro,
it.
Bro, we see how the Lord operates when He delivers people.
Oh yeah.
He puts them in a situation that seems impossible. So again, when we go through our stuff, you might not even be with brothers. You might be dolo. You might get caught. You know what I mean? Remember, when the Lord puts you in a situation that seems impossible, He does that so that He can be glorified. Remember, when we get put in our situations, when the devil put them thoughts in your head to fold, remember that He puts us in situations that seem impossible so that He can show how great He is.
Yes.
Romans 9.
His strength is made in weakness.
That's right. That's it.
His strength is made perfect in weakness.
Here we go.
We gonna have compassion on who we want to have compassion on. I raised Pharaoh up so I can show him how hard I go. That's what the Lord was saying.
Right.
Yeah. That was to glorify me, not him.
And He raised Esau the same way.
That's right.
It looks like, man, who could, like you mentioned earlier, we could make war with the Greeks. Okay, go ahead.
Romans chapter 9. I'll start with verse 12 and read now. It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with the Most High? God forbid. For it said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So again, it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but the Most High that showeth mercy. For the scripture said unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth.
The Lord literally broke Pharaoh all the way down. With them 10 plagues, the plagues went from annoying to scary to deadly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? By the end, and by the end, he still was willing to chase Israel. So the Lord opened up the ocean, opened up the water, and we're like, okay, well, come through that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He intervened.
You gotta be tripping. To see that, is, we gonna go get them niggas.
Yeah.
What you thinking about?
You chasing a whole nation, bro.
The Lord had to put a crazy ass spirit on this man. And his generals was like, hey, what?
Yep.
You want us to...
You don't think the water's gonna close in on us?
Yeah.
I mean, we were afflicted. Though. You don't think?
Yeah. Don't you think?
Seems like common sense.
They didn't even think about that. Damn.
Yeah, you want to think about, you want to you probably like, bro, this man tripping.
This is Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord.
Yes.
As the rivers of water, He turneth it whithersoever He will. So He made him.
You made him do it. So if you know that, when this devil get to doing his shit to you, you should be like, bro, at the end of the day, ain't nothing gonna happen unless the Lord okay it first. What I'm tripping about.
That's right. That's right.
The only way Jake would trip because their flesh still tied to this world. You gotta detach
Looking
from
with
this
them
shit.
eyes on their face.
You gotta detach,
You
bro.
can't pass the test if you looking with these motherfuckers. These don't work for real. I need some spiritual glasses in there.
I'm telling you.
Well, Gerald quoted.
Hey, I was just about to pull it. I'm gonna tell the brother get it. I get it. Hey, let's read it. That's spiritual, because this shows that the Lord, because this saying that the Lord has a perfect ending. And if that's crazy, the Lord has a perfect ending, right? So if you tie to this flesh, if you tie to this world, right? Once the Lord starts really passing the judgment, you might get offended, because this is His creation. This is His doing. This is Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, said the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. You got it, huh?
That's right. And you brought up the account in Exodus, the 14th chapter.
I was about to tell you again.
You know what I'm saying? Now, when you
That
read
was
about this
going.
account, which we got, Moses had to give the
Stay
Israelites
just in
that pep
case.
talk, like, watch the Lord work pretty much. Y'all over here murmuring, but watch what the Lord finna do.
Right.
You know, and I actually do got another precept to back that one up. because it goes right into it. But this is Isaiah chapter 42, verse 14, and I'm going to read it down. It says, I have long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. Now will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once. And as he devours, he's going to devour our enemies. That's why you had prophets that pretty much said, look, I've heard thy speech and was afraid. Woe was me in those days. But we got to remember that hope that was read in Jeremiah 29. When he's coming to devour, there's still a hope and an expectation that we have that we're not subdued with everybody else. You know, and that's from seeing from that second set of eyes, like you said, Juan. Now, verse 15 says, I will make waste mountains and hills. I will dry up all their herbs, and I will make the rivers islands, and I will dry up the pools. You know, exactly what the Lord did with Egypt, those 10 plagues.
Yes.
And he's going to do it in a more severe fashion to this wicked-ass kingdom. Okay, and this is the point right here in verse 16. I will bring the blind by a way that they knew not. I will lead them in paths that they have not known. I will make darkness light before them, and crooked things straight. These things will I do unto them, and not forsake them. And that blind that he's talking about is us. Now, in that account in Exodus 14, Jake had the Gulf of Suez on one side, and then you had Pharaoh's armies on the next side, and you're right there in the middle. Jake didn't know what was coming up next.
You know them black as hell.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Sweating, tongues hanging out.
Yeah.
There was demons on them for them to be there
Mhm.
to chase after them. So they was looking crazy.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. Yeah, they didn't know the Red Sea was going to get split in half, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't know that that event was going to take place, but they had to keep that expectation and that hope, because this is the power of the God that we serve. You know?
You gotta have faith to get to the miracle.
That's
Miracle,
right.
You gotta, the spiritual power ain't coming to you. You don't believe.
Hell no.
I got one. That's the second Maccabees 15 and 6. So Nicanor, in exceeding pride and haughtiness, determined to set up a public monument over his victory over Judas and them that were with him, which kept to the traditions. But Maccabee is ever so confident that the Lord would help him, wherefore he exhorted his people not to fear the coming of the heathen against them, but to remember the help which in former times they had received from heaven, and now to expect the victory and aid which should come unto them from the Almighty. And so comforted them out of the law and the prophets, and withal putting them to mind of the battles they had won, afore he made them more cheerful. And he had stirred up their mind, and he gave them their charge, showing them the falsehood of the heathen and the breach of oaths. And he armed every one of them, not so much with the defense of shields and spears, but as with comfortable and good words. And besides that, he told them a dream worthy to be believed. So he was going in.
Yeah.
He went to the law, the prophets. It looked like he made up a dream. He'd like to just get their mind, you know. He was a leader of warriors.
Yeah.
So they're in a war. These niggas coming. So he just going into he went to the exit. He going into who he going?
Yeah.
He went
That's
into
what
that.
they doing.
Yeah.
Help from heaven.
Yeah.
He had to tell you, said, y'all niggas tripping.
Yeah.
What y'all worried about? Y'all don't remember what our power was done for us time and time again?
Help from heaven.
Then I had a dream, just made something up on the fly. Look, it said, and he told them a dream worthy to be believed, as if it had been so indeed, which did not a little rejoice them. So he was in the desperation mode, because they was looking at the coming of the heathen, so they were like, shit, so he went to the law of the prophets, and after that, he just made up a dream.
He had to give them that halftime speech. You can't, like, bro, I've seen teams that you seen, and brothers that play sports, you see teams that you know, on paper, you probably shouldn't beat these niggas.
Man, look,
But if you go into teams that go into a game with a particular mindset, you'll see them beat people they're not really supposed to beat. He had to tell, hey, he had to give them that halftime speech. Because just looking at us as a people, we the last team, we in last place. Ain't no way we supposed to pick a team.
Hey, the dude that just beat up, wow.
Bro,
Ain't no way.
we got on Converse.
We got ain't no way we must be the number one seed. You know what I'm saying? We the Pistons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we in that Deerland.
There's no way we supposed to win, but the Lord gonna come through for us to show His power.
This is Judith chapter 9, verse 11. For thy power standeth not in multitudes, nor thy might in strong men. For thou art a God of the afflicted, and helper of the oppressed, an upholder of the weak, a protector of the forlorn, a savior of them that are without hope.
And that's us. We the team in last place. Wait, what's that?
Bad News
Bad News
Bears.
Bears. We that team in last place, but the Lord gonna put us at the top. People gonna be like, ain't no way they got to that position unless the Lord did it. That's what the nations realized after we were taken out of Egypt. They was like, yo, the Lord delivered them. That's a right. That got all the way to Rahab.
Right.
She was like, I heard what your power did for you.
Right.
That's what happened on the biggest scale in our time.
Absolutely.
Everything we small and everything. Don't see that type of height.
Like you said, the last nation to be established, like when we bringing this truth out, Moses received the Torah after all of those great kingdoms, you know what I'm saying? So the people are like, nigga, y'all stealing from this,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's all the spirit.
Yeah.
People looking at us like, ah, nigga,
Everybody niggas. That's how they look at
they
us.
ain't got no building.
Y'all ain't got a church? Y'all ain't got a church? No, we out here on the hollering about it. You had some?
more examples in that first magazine.
Yeah, we were supposed to read a little bit of that, then jump down to 60, and then we gonna get this example actually. We gonna get it. Go. You got it. Go.
Okay. This is back in First Maccabees 2:59. It says, Ananias, Azarias, and Mishael, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego,
Yep.
by believing were saved out of the flame. So it says by believing were saved out of the flame. It says Daniel, for his innocency, was delivered from the mouth of lions. And thus consider ye throughout all ages that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome.
That's the key. If you just trust in the Lord, He ain't gonna forsake you. None that put their trust in Him shall be overcome.
Right.
We've been given the study guide on how to pass this test. Don't get under the bright lights and forget the plays. Take good for forgetting plays. You're like, nigga, we don't practice this all week.
Take screen. You know, set a screen on the rim. You know, set a screen on the rim.
Yeah, it's like. All right, man. Yeah, read that one more time.
They can have a play on the wristband, just can't execute them.
That's why it's important to practice it as we're here. When those opportunities present themselves, that's when you exercise it and practice it. That way you'll be fully inept to trust in the Lord more when that time comes, because you're applying it right now.
Yeah. Elder Gabar always says repetition is the father's speech.
That's right.
This is First Maccabees 2:62. It says, Fear not then the words of a sinful man, for his glory shall be dung and worms.
All right, so who are we up against? We're up against the man, the son of perdition.
Right.
So like, we already know that he ain't gonna win. The Lord gonna let him win. So with just knowing that our opponent, man, is just completely against everything the Lord is about. You know he gonna lose. The Lord ain't gonna let that slide. There's no reason we should go in. Now I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, but there's no reason that we should go into this without being confident.
That's right.
We should be getting excited as we see stuff start to break, all hell break loose. We should be like, okay.
That means with faith.
Yeah. We should be like, okay, I get to put all that the Lord has equipped me with to the test. Okay? That was it on that?
I mean, as far as you want to see.
That was pretty much the point, that last preaching. Now we can get the example and let's look at how these niggas was acting. Let's get verse 11.
God. Exodus chapter 14 and verse 11 in NLT again, it says, And they said to Moses, Why did you bring us out here to die in the wilderness? Weren't there enough graves for us in Egypt? What have you done to us?
Nigga, you brought us out here to die. I knew we shouldn't have trusted this nigga. Again, that's how they gonna be looking at the prophets, man, when stuff ain't going their way. Because they looking at everything through a carnal lens. Continue on, all the way to verse 13.
God, it says, Why did you make us leave Egypt? Didn't we tell you this would happen while we were still in Egypt? We said, leave us alone. Let us be slaves to the Egyptians.
And that's what our people said. We tell them, hey, you a special people. You got to come out of these ways. But they're looking at the walk They're looking at the cost of what this walk entails. They're
Nah,
like,
he-
man,
nah,
I'd
he-
rather just be a nigga.
Not a heathen can make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a heathen can make it.
I'd rather just be a slave. Nigga. I'd rather just be an American.
See,
Let me take the chip.
but that's the thing. It's a punishment to be a slave and be in captivity. But they rather be in captivity than in the spirit world at rest.
Right.
That's how backwards our people are, man.
The Lord whooped our ass so we would be like, we get closer to Him. But these niggas did the opposite.
Right. They don't understand death. See, understanding death gives you comfort in making those decisions, even if you gotta die.
Yeah.
And that's what we've been blessed to understand. Jake don't understand death.
Yeah, people in the world, they think death is like some final thing. We know it's not. We know it's, okay, you kill me, I'll be back.
Right.
And that allows you to move different and to think different and to see different.
Because if it comes to a point where you gotta take a rotten or die, you should already have your mind made up. Before you go to bed every night, you should make sure you're at peace with that decision. I'd rather go.
That's it. That's it.
Yep.
You should really come to under grips with that. Like if it comes to taking that and walking around here, I'd rather go back to school.
It's better to go back to
It's better.
Yeah.
That's why old people be ready to go. You know what I'm saying? When your granddad 85 and all broken down and sick, you know what I'm saying? And everybody be wanting to stay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He like, shit, I'm tired. Shit, I'm ready to go. I'm ready for the rest.
I'm ready for something else.
You know what I'm saying? So by the end of your life, if you grow to be that old, by the end of your life, you ready to go. You know what I'm saying? But shit, Jake think they gotta do everything before they go. Like, nah, nigga, you ain't gonna get to do nothing until after you go.
Even if
Yeah.
you're 23, you gotta be like, look,
Yeah.
if it comes to a point where I'm gonna have to choose between dying and taking this Corona, even the jab.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight up.
I
that's
would rather
bullshit.
just go. I mean, I wouldn't have no more worries. Y'all got it.
Yeah.
Bro, you wouldn't believe. I'm gonna start keeping a tally of how many times I hear brothers say, "Man, I'm ready for something else."
Bruh.
That's the
You gonna
spirit
run out
we're
of
supposed to
ink?
be. We're supposed to be like,
Yeah.
I'm ready, man. And big shit, I'm ready for something else.
You gonna run out of ink?
Human experience. I'm over the human experience. So
Right.
we're really looking to be in the spirit world, but we know we have to be here.
We gotta
That's
do a
it.
job. Same way Paul was talking about.
That's right.
Okay, keep going.
Exodus 14 verse 12 in the NLT. It says, didn't we tell you this would happen while we were still in Egypt? We said, leave us alone. Let us be slaves to the Egyptians. It is better to be a slave in Egypt than a corpse in the wilderness.
Man.
Verse 13.
God, verse 13. But Moses told the people, don't be afraid. Just stand still and watch Yahweh rescue you today.
Watch the Lord rescue you today. That boldness. Mind you, he's seeing the same shit they seeing.
Yep.
Under the immense pressure, and they just calm as day. Playing ball, I had two different coaches. So my first coach, he was a Hall of Fame kind of coach. We would be put in situations, and he would just have this cool and collectedness about it. So even when we look like, damn, how you gonna beat these niggas? They got 3 draft picks. But he had this calmness, like, no, we good, just do this. And it was contagious. It was like, it would rub off on everybody. So we would go out there and just focus on everybody doing their job. But then I had the other coach that he would be sweating, his toupee leaning all crazy in the huddle. You looking at him, you start feeling like, shit, baby, shit, I don't know.
Sweat to a suit.
It's contagious. Right? So you gotta ask yourself, man, everybody got teachers in this thing. Are your teachers, when they put under pressure, are they composed? My teachers have been composed. I've never seen my teachers rattle. I've never seen the men that the Lord set up for me to learn from rattle about anything. I've seen leaders of other congregations get rattled, backtrack on the things they say. I'm talking about their congregation got to revise their notes every week, it seems. It should be easy at this point in time in our walk for you to see who the Lord is dealing with and who he's not. But again, you know, everybody's playing their part in the Lord's movie. Jump down to verse 18, unless somebody have precepts.
I'll wait.
Okay.
It says, Psalm 46 and 10. Be still and know that I am the Most High, Yahweh Shah. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. You know, like it said, be still and watch the Most High deliver us. Yeah, he said right there to King David, the same thing, man. Just be still, chill, I got this. You know. You got it, bro.
Exodus 14-13. But Moses, in the NLT, says, but Moses told the people, don't be afraid. Just stand still and watch Yahweh rescue you today. The Egyptians you see today will never be seen again.
And Esau, you never gonna see him in this sitting on the throne. He's gonna be in the dust, like it talks about in Isaiah 47. This the last time we gotta look at this nigga over us.
He shall fly away like a dream by the goats.
Yeah. The next time we see him after this, he gonna be the lowest of the low. And then he gonna get put out. Alright, jump down to verse 18.
God. You mind if I read verse 14?
Go ahead.
Verse 14 says, Yahweh himself will fight for you. Just stay calm.
Yeah. I wanted to hold off on that point because we're gonna talk about the arm and all that. But you know, it's all good.
It's all good.
Verse 18, verse 18, yeah.
Verse 18. It says, Exodus 14-18 in NLT, when my glory is displayed through them, all Egypt will see my glory and know that I'm Yahweh. Then the angel of the Most High, who had been leading the people of Israel,
The angel of the Most High who had been leading the people.
Who is that angel?
You know what I'm saying? Jake don't see that. Jake don't see that. They skip right over that. You know what I'm saying? And focus on the complaining. Like you said, bro, the Lord opened the water up.
That,
And then they came back with a false report, spying out the land.
they seen that. Like, think about it. They really seen the Lord do all of this, and they still was in their head doubting. They gotta go. What's that movie, Apocalypto? With the lion. He
Yeah.
told the guy,
Yep.
he said, fear is a sickness. We can't be moving in that fearful, doubtful spirit, man. Especially after all we've seen, even though we haven't seen like literal miracles like that, but you see things in your everyday life where you can see the Lord moving.
Right.
In the chat all day, you see brothers, hey, I seen this today. We've been given spiritual eyes. Keep looking with those. Don't switch it up when stuff get hard.
That's right. That's right. And Yahweh Shah said, look up, for your salvation draw near than you believe. Of course, you can look up, but that's more so from the spiritual sense of keeping your mind in heavenly things, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's what Yahweh Shah is looking to, looking up. You know?
Esau got a movie called Don't Look Up.
Yeah, right.
Everybody on there dumb as hell.
They got their head in the sand.
Wrong eyes.
Wrong ones. Continue on, brother.
God. Exodus 14-19 in the NLT. Then the angel of the Most High, who had been leading the people of Israel, moved to the rear of the camp. The pillar of cloud also moved from the front and stood beside them. The cloud settled between the Egyptian and the Israelite camp.
So you got the Israelites, they looking at the water, the Egyptians behind them. That chariot went from being in front and went behind them. So now it's between our people and the Egyptians coming. The black asses that you was talking about. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. It says, verse 19, then the angel of the Most High, who had been leading the people of Israel, moved to the rear of the camp. The pillar of cloud also moved from the front and stood behind them. The cloud settled between the Egyptian and Israelite camp. As darkness fell, the cloud turned to fire, lighting up the night. But the Egyptians and Israelites did not approach each other all night.
So there's a period of time passing. There's darkness, so the Egyptians, they're like, damn, it's so dark. But the Israelites can see. We're gonna be able to see in the midst of our situation here to come.
That's happening now.
It's happening now. We were able to see through all the BS, all the sleight of hand this devil's pushing, everything. We've been equipped to actually see through it.
We're in gross darkness with outside to see still though.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I got to prove up you want.
Go ahead.
Isaiah 9:2. The people that walked in darkness have seen a great light. They that dwell in the land of the shadow of death, upon them have the light shine.
You got it.
God, that's your Howard shot, man. You know, displayed performing the truth. You know, we're in the darkest, you know, season that the earth has ever seen. You know, with Esau, you know, in rulership. You know, but yet the Lord has, you know, given us that light, man. So Exodus chapter 14 and verse 21. Then Moses raised his hand over the sea, And the Lord Yahweh opened up a path through the water with a strong east wind. The wind blew all that night, turning the seabed into dry land. So the people of Israel walked through the middle of the sea on dry ground.
Everybody made it through there. He opened it up so everybody can get through, and then closed it.
Yeah. He gave them all the time they needed so that they could get through.
You know what I'm saying? And with it being so many people, the Gulf of Suez make the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep, yep.
It make the most sense for that many people to go through that water. You know what I'm saying? The Lord know what He's doing, man.
Yeah.
And that's what Moses was saying. Moses was like, bro, you can talk all that bullshit you want to. Watch the Lord save you today.
Right. That's right, brother.
You know?
Dry ground. Because
You know what I'm saying?
There's a movie called The Exodus. It's maybe like 10 years old.
Yeah, with
Where they
Christian
tried to
Bale.
make it seem like the water didn't actually split. They made it in the movie to where it just subsided.
Oh, nah.
And then a wave came. No, it literally split. The Lord defied physics.
Yep.
Okay? He defied the natural course of things for his
right.
people. He's going to defy the natural course of things for us.
That's it.
That was pretty much the point of that example. Because, we hit the hour mark. I want to draw that parallel of America's destruction. You can go to Revelation 11 and 13. And I also want to get the 2nd Ezra 13, where it says Yahweh shall neither lifted up hand nor sword.
Oh, yes, sir.
Just to show the effortlessness and how, our power delivers us. It's not something that's difficult for him to do. There's no chance of us losing. Okay?
I got a quick one for you. This is Jeremiah 32 and 27. He said, behold, I am Yahweh, the God or power of all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me? So the Lord is asking us a question,
Yeah. Everything's easy work.
Right.
It's nothing to him.
The sun is up there.
The sun is. Why are you even why is there an inkling of a thought that he might not do it?
Ain't nothing holding the earth up.
That don't even make sense. It don't make sense. If you really believe what we're reading, that's like, what are you doing? You should be moving in great boldness. Right? Yeah. Revelation 11:13. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
In the regular version?
Yeah, that's fine.
Revelation 11 and 13, it says, in the same hour there was a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell.
So you got the 10 zip codes or the 10 FEMA regions of America.
Yep.
This place is going to be completely destroyed, the same way Egypt was completely destroyed in fullness. Okay, go ahead.
It says, in the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were affrighted.
So the victory for us over this place is already written, and it's going to be done in an effortless fashion. Now we can go and read that 2nd Ezra 13, wherever it's at. Whoever got it.
This is 2nd Ezra 13 and verse 8. It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him.
All right, because that great gathering, when you go to Joel the 3rd chapter, the Lord talks about gathering the nations of the valley of Jehoshaphat, Jehoshaphat. Okay? And those going to be all the world powers there.
Yeah.
With their technology, with their stuff they've been holding back, trying to keep on the hush.
Yep.
And the Lord's going to do what to it? Go ahead.
Yep, it says, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight.
Even though they were so afraid, when you're so afraid, it's like, I don't know if anybody ever been in a situation where you thought you was about to die. It's like a fear that come over you, like, oh shit, where you almost kind of stuck. You can't move, you just like, oh shit. Your gun get pulled on you, you like, oh shit.
Temporary paralysis.
Yeah, it's like a temporary paralysis. That's the fear that came over them. But the Lord gonna put the spirit on them to fight anyway. Go ahead.
2nd Ezra 13 and 9, it says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held sword.
Now why was it written like that? Read it again.
Right. 2nd Ezra 13 and 9, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempest.
Yeah, that concentrated fire out of that chariot. He didn't, you know, it wasn't nothing that he needed to physically exert himself to do it. It's written that way to show you, like, man, it was nothing to him.
And it was, you notice, I don't know who was teaching last night at the Friday camp, when we went into the Hendiatrix, that was a example of it right there, because it mentioned 3 things that were related to each other to basically exemplify the point. You know, just like how when you have like a cinematic scene in a movie, it may show like a slow motion punch, and then it may show like a different angle, and then it might show it like a third time to really show that.
It'll show you the fullness of the scene. It'll show you the wide shot, so you can see the setting. It'll give you the medium shot, all right, so you can see the interaction between the two main protagonists and antagonists, and then you need the close-up so you can see the emotions, the thought process of the character.
The ultimate KO.
Yeah, so you can see the fullness of the scene, the completion of the scene.
That was the end of that verse.
Yeah. Just jump to verse 37.
Okay. All right, dropping down to 2 Ezra 13 and 37. It says, "And this, my son, shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest. And they shall lay before them their evil thoughts, and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame, and he shall destroy them without labor by the law which is like unto fire."
That's our point. Yeah, without labor, man. Our power is able to handle our enemies effortlessly. It's not something that he has to exert himself to do. Okay, he's playing. Yeah, they're playing with kids. They say that in basketball, when somebody's just much higher than his competition. Stop playing with the kids. That's our power, man. There's nothing that we have to worry about. So this was, if anything you could take away from this class, is to be strengthening your confidence in the Lord. And remember, the key to having access to that perfection is to truly believe and see with your spiritual eye. Have faith in it. All right?
Jeremiah 13:17. Ah, Lord power, behold, thou hast made the heaven and the earth by thy great power and stretched out arm, and there is nothing too hard for thee.
Nothing.
Jeremiah 13:17.
Can somebody get the Revelation 3 and 18 or 19 Isaiah scripture?
Yeah, I'm done. That was all the precepts I had. So brothers bring out their last closing precepts, man, and we wrap it on up.
I got it. Revelation chapter 3.
Matter of fact, start at 15 and then jump down. Because if you lukewarm, you're not going to get the Isaiah. If you lukewarm, you're looking with the wrong eyes.
Revelation 3:15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. Would thou were cold or hot?
See, if you hot, just like you were saying earlier, if you hot for this truth, then you're gonna be looking with the spiritual eyes. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth.
That's what I said. You're not on fire, the Lord gonna get rid of you. You see? And notice, being lukewarm, being cold or hot comes before you get the eyesight. When you jump down.
Because thou sayest, I am rich and increased with goods, and have used
Fire. Those are the ones that was hot, not lukewarm. You see? The Lord said, if you keep my ways, I'm gonna keep you in the day of temptation. Go ahead.
and white raiment that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear. And anoint thine eyes with eyesight, that thou mayest see.
Anoint thine eyes with eyesight so that you can see. Which eyes is it talking about? You see?
Yeah.
If you don't get the eyesight, you lose.
Yeah. So, Alvarez the lesson was edifying. Anybody got any closing
No, you got it.
All right, with that being said, I want to give all praises once more too.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, HaKadosh.
I want to give double honors to the Apostle Mills, the great millstone. Shalom to all the brothers and, of course, a few sisters pursuing this truth with sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your house. Shalom.
Shalom.